Great. Hello, thank you for joining us today for this informational webinar on the Opportunity Facilities for Academia. We're just seeing quite a few people joining us, so we'll hold on for just a moment more while a couple more people join us today. So if you please just give us a moment. Okay, so I'm going to get started. So once again, thank you for joining us for this informational webinar today. So on the slides, you can see our email address if you'd like to contact us if you have any questions today. And there is also now a website that is live, and we'll post that in the chat so you can access that as well. Today, we're going to go through the opportunity for Oh, sorry, my slide is not moving. There we go. We're going to go through the opportunity for the Facilities for Academia Fund. We're going to go through who can apply to this opportunity, the facilities that we have, what we're looking for from a proposal, how we will assess the proposal, key dates, and how you can contact us. And there's also an opportunity to ask questions throughout the presentation. We'll go through that at the end as a Q&A. This presentation will be posted online as along with the slides and the recording, and we'll also put a Q&A online as well. So to go through who we are one of 8 different catapults, and we are the catapult that focuses on the space sector, particularly satellite applications. We support the driving of innovation and economic growth for the space sector, particularly bridging that gap between research and industry, supporting the transition from research ideas into real-world applications. We are focused around 3 different key missions. One is on sustainable Earth, so this is around taking space capabilities and enabling safe and just outcomes for climate displaced people and their communities by 2030. Another is around autonomous and connected Earth, where we hope to see safe and secure performant connectivity and autonomy available everywhere and affordable for every person. And beyond Earth, which is around advancing the UK's in-orbit capabilities, unlocking economic opportunities, bolstering our safety and security, and helping to solve the grand challenges on Earth. These different areas represent great opportunity for the UK space sector and our wider UK economy. And we have really strong UK expertise across academia and industry, and the catapult can play a really clear role in solving these challenges that are present across the different mission areas. So in terms of this particular opportunity, we are hoping to accelerate the development and commercial readiness of innovative academic technologies through access to our facilities for different demonstration and feasibility testing. The objectives of the fund are to support the progression of technologies across technology readiness levels, and this is one of the key success criterion. So we're not looking to support proposals that are curiosity-driven research. We are looking for proposals that will accelerate technology readiness levels. We do encourage proposals that are bold, high risk and high reward, and that may not fit traditional funding models, recognising our role as an organisation in de-risking innovation for industry adoption. Another objective is to ensure that proposals clearly articulate the importance of the technology and its potential, the intended beneficiaries, and possible next steps for the technology to take towards market. We hope that proposals will provide a supportive environment for transformative ideas. We acknowledge that there are often uncertainty in breakthrough innovation, and so one advancement in TRL might not be a given. We're using TRL definitions based on the Horizon 2020 work programme from 2014 to 2015. In terms of the opportunity itself, this is in-kind funding, so there's no cash transaction. The in-kind funding per individual award is up to a maximum of £20,000 to unlock access to our facilities, including technical support where that is relevant per successful applicant. And this enables the use of specialist labs, testing environments, and engineering support that can be tailored to your bespoke project requirements. This is to enable you to advance your project's TRL and to build industry connections. And facilities must be used between the 5th of January 2026 and the 21st of December 2026. As an organisation, we will take no claim in IP generated during the facility usage. Access to additional facilities or expertise required within your proposal may be available to you at a discounted academic rate, but we would ask that you contact us via the email address that we provided to discuss that alongside your proposal submission so we can have a more nuanced discussion around this. In terms of who can apply and eligibility, we're looking for applications from PhD candidates and above, so postdoctoral researchers, academics and research staff from different research organisations. So we are hoping that you would be employed by a UK university or research organisation, and all applications have to be aligned to our missions, so Sustainable Earth, Beyond Earth or Connected and Autonomous Earth that I talked about earlier, and have an overall ambition to grow the UK space sector and utilise our facilities to advance the TRL of your novel technology, or at least aim to advance the TRL of your novel technology. In terms of what is not included, we do not support funding access to the facility outside of the grant period as part of the in-kind support. We will not support health and safety, for example, preparation of risk assessments and PPE. We're unable to support travel and subsistence to get to the site, for example, and consumables, for example, materials for advanced manufacturing, connectors and cables. In terms of the facilities that we have a wide range of world-leading facilities, and they're located at our Westcott site, which is towards Aylesbury, as well as our Harwell site towards Didcot near Oxford. So these include in-orbit servicing, assembly and manufacturing, spacecraft assembly, integration testing, drone test and development, terrestrial and satellite infrastructure and testing, antenna and radio frequency and testing, and advanced manufacturing. So I'm going to pass over to colleagues who lead on the facilities so that they can talk a little bit about each one of these, so you can get a bit more detail about whether these facilities would be the right sort of thing to use for your proposal's development. So I'll pass over to Jeremy to talk about ISAM and robotics now.
Thanks, Becca. I hope everybody can hear me. So I lead the ISAM and robotics team at our Westcott facility. At Westcott, we have a number of facilities. The first one is the RPO facility. This is a very large-scale rendezvous proximity operations facility consisting of two very large robots that are capable of carrying 120 kilos of weight. So you can put a pretty large payload onto those robots and then test out and train RPO devices. We can also then take them onto our gravity offload system and offload the gravity to make them act as if they're in orbit. And light them in different conditions, so we can look at how the effect of sunlight acts on sensors and how contact between objects causes reactions in those objects. We also then have our robotics lab, where we're able to test and validate robotic tools and autonomous processes. That consists of two universal robots, teleoperation and test artifacts, all plugged together into a ROS stack architecture. That's controlled through our control room. This gives us complete remote control over our robotics facilities and also acts as a test environment and a training environment for robotic operations within ISAM. And wrapped all around this, we have our virtual environments. This is an integrated simulation environment. We use Isaac Sim from NVIDIA, which allows us to virtualize the entire environment, train it using AI tools, and test out different activities. So if you're interested in all of that, please do get in contact with us.
Great, thank you. And I'm going to pass over to Rupesh now.
Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
Yeah,
Thank
okay,
you,
perfect.
Rupesh.
No, sorry. Yeah, so I'm a senior manufacturing engineer here at the Catapult with the advanced manufacturing team. We're here to help you to build up your product development cycles that we have. So we start off with the design suite that we have here. We have SolidWorks that can help you with your design side of things. We have topology optimization as well. So that can help you with your lightweighting and optimization of your designs. And then we also have CFD packages as well. So you can kind of look at how that part works in the stipulated boundary conditions that you have. Then we have the manufacturing suite. We've got a number of different machines here from metal to polymers. And then the polymers break down into resins and filaments. So with the metal that we have, we've got an Additive Industries Metal Fab 1, which is using RSI 10 mag, which is an aluminium. It's got a dual 500-watt laser and a pretty decent size build chamber. And we also have a wire EDM as well to remove the parts off. We've got a photocentric resin printer as well. That's also got a pretty big build chamber. And to do some of the smaller form, fit, and functions products, we have an Elegoo resin printer as well, which is much smaller, but it's enough to get the job done. We've also got a Markforged printer as well, which allows you to do filament products. But it's the good thing about this one is that you've got carbon fiber in there as well. So you can print continuous carbon fiber, and again, used for filament form, fit, and function, but also can be used for your kind of demonstration parts as well. Within that, we also have the metrology suite. We've got desktop microscopes, polishing machines, so you can polish your parts and then look at them under the microscope for the microstructure. We've got some sampler preparation as well, and we have Faro arms and scan arms, so we can look at your parts and compare them against your CAD data that you've already done, or if you want to look at kind of measuring parts on a bigger scale, we can do that as well. Thank you.
Awesome. Thank you, Rupesh. So I'm going to pass over to Phil for drone test and development.
Hi everyone, my name's Phil Coughlin. I'm the Drone Test and Development Centre Manager. So I run the drone test site, and I manage the drone activities for our Catapult and around our test site. The site is made out of several different elements, which include, but are not exclusive to, 4 hangars, which offer flexible workbench and testing options. These can be fitted out or used as you require. So you could use it as workshops, you could use it as test labs, etc. And we can discuss your needs and what you need around there. We have a 270-meter runway, which has 4 dedicated technical landing points. These are also equipped with tether points and force meters, so you can measure things like lift capability. We have a sensor test range, which is set up in a real-world environment, so great for testing things like LiDAR, ground-penetrating radars, etc. We also have confined space flying through tunnels and stuff like that. We are able to supply drones and use of pilots if you're testing sensors, or we can assist you with your flight operations around those. We also have a 10 by 10 by 10 meter drone cage for contained flying. That's rated up to a 3-ton aircraft, which obviously we never intend to fly a 3-ton aircraft in there, but it's designed to contain any possible issues that you might encounter with initial flight. And we also offer various secure flying and test sites where you can carry out your flights and your flight tests in a safe environment, which is de-risked. But one note on that, if you do wish to fly your own systems, that's fine, but you'll need to follow the relevant CA regulations, and we can discuss that as needs be. Thank you.
Great, thank you very much. So I'll pass over now to Ashwini to talk about terrestrial satellite infrastructure testing.
Thank you, Becca. So hi everyone, my name is Ashwini Bihari. I'm the head of department for ubiquitous connectivity, and in my role I also look after this particular lab, which is the Future Network Development Center. So this lab essentially comprises of a building which has various indoor networks, but equally we do operate a campus network on our site in Westcott. So what we have is a dedicated private 5G standalone network, but it's got space elements in it and it's fully configurable. So this is something that we have set up ourselves. So we can completely and very flexibly make all the changes that are needed. We also have got trailer-based systems that can be taken out in different locations and tested. And once again, they're integrated with different types of LEO or GEO satellite connectivity solutions. And we've got the flexibility to use that particular technology at different points in the network. We also operate an open run environment, open source, but equally some from some vendors. As part of our facility, we have a van that has been kitted out specifically to be a mobile testing lab. So it can host different services and hardware within it and can create bubbles of connectivity around it. It's got a rack right on the top for up to 8 antenna testing. So you can kit out any antenna that is designed to be tested on the move, and you can have different telemetry and other systems within the van itself. So it's been used across many projects. We also independently operate a server infrastructure, which hosts private cloud. We also have edge capability with AI enhancement. So we've got various forms of GPUs available. And as part of that, we have some test beds that are full end-to-end, where we have various aspects. So just as an example, we have a 5G NTN test bed that can be used. We also have got various physical channel emulators that can emulate satellite constellations, different conditions for the connectivity and so on. And just to end, a list of a couple of selected R&D collaboration to give you an idea of the kind of things that we've been doing. So with Cambridge University, for example, they've been working on optical communication within their lab. So one of the things that we have been helping them do is to take it outside the lab and instrument our outdoor facilities to test and to further develop their system. We've been working with the University of Surrey on the flexible configuration of 5G NTN architecture. With Bristol University, we've been working on the integration of satellite in the O-RAN ecosystem, fairly unique. And with UCL, we're working on the joint communication and sensing. So we've got various kind of activities that we do with academia. So hopefully this gives you an idea of the kind of services we have and the infrastructure that we offer. Thank you.
Great, thank you, Ashwini. So then we have Shane to talk about spacecraft assembly, integration and testing.
Hi everybody, sorry for my actually sitting in our clean, one of our clean rooms at the moment. Husband is in Newcastle. So yes, in our AIT facility, we have got 6 ISO 7 clean rooms. Most of them are 6 meters by 6. We do the ability to link some of them if we need to, so we can actually space that is 18 meters by 6 meters maximum. Inside here, we've got some test facilities. So we've got our vibration table. All our test facilities are set up to look at CubeSats and satellites. So our vibration table has standard patient of 500 millimeters, and we can test satellites or about 60 kilo test mass to most company programs.
Sorry, Shane. Can you just come a bit closer to the microphone because your audio keeps dropping out, I think.
Okay. Yeah,
Thank
I'm going
you.
to turn off my camera so I don't scare everybody. So yeah, so you can, you could have seen it if I turned off the camera, the vibration table in the background. We've also got an environmental chamber, which is a meter by a meter by a meter internal volume. That runs from -75 to 180 degrees. And we've got a thermal vacuum chamber, runs from -40 to +80. Heated test bed area of 850 by 850 millimeters. And it will go down to a 10 to -7, 10 to -8 millibar vacuum, depending on what's in there. And we'll get down to 10 to -6 millibars, usually within a couple of hours of pump down. The operating system is very, very simple. So our operating method is that I will show you how to use it for the first day, and then you use it with some support from me after that, which means that the costs are kept down. Okay, that's it.
Great, thanks very much. I'm going to pass over to Evangelos for the antenna and RF testing facility.
Yeah, you thought you were, but you got me again.
Oh, sorry.
No, that's all right. Yeah, so our head RF engineer is actually with the customer today, so he can't make it. So I'm going to give you my very, very limited overview of this. Obviously, any questions you've got about, you want more details, contact us and we can talk to you about that. So for our antenna test and RF equipment, we've got a spherical near field range, 4 meter by 4 meter by 4 meter anechoic chamber. The maximum antenna size we can get in there is about 1 meter, and it runs from 700 millihertz to 40 gigahertz. We've also got a compact antenna test range for very specialized testing, and it runs from 10 gigahertz to 32 gigahertz. Our far field range is a 400 millimeter transmit to receive distance, and it's in a quiet space in the campus, and that runs from that's 2 gigahertz to 40 gigahertz. And then we've got various RF test equipment, so high-end, high-frequency VNA, spectrum analyzers, and signal generators. Yeah, and one of the key things that we offer is we've got really, really good engineers who will work with you to make sure that we can get everything that we can to make your tests work.
Great, thank you very much. So, if you have any further information or you want some more specific details around whether your proposal would be the right fit for any of our facilities, then there's an email address on the slide here, and I think it's going to be in the chat, facilityforacademia@sa.catapult.org.uk. I think there's also going to be an email that goes out to people who have registered to join this call afterwards with some additional information, and that email address will be shared. If you're able to and you know the facility that you might require, if you could please add that to the email title and the body of the email as an FAO, that will help us to direct the email to the correct team as quickly as possible to ensure that you get a swift response. I just wanted to flag that there are terms and conditions associated with the in-kind funding. So there's 2 sets of terms and conditions that you should be aware of, and these are available on the Facilities for Academia website. This is Facilities for Academia submission terms and conditions, and Satellite Applications Catapult Facilities Hire terms and conditions. So do make yourself familiar with those terms and conditions associated with the opportunity. So now we get on to what we're looking for. So there are 5 sort of key components associated with the call. 2 are more SIFT requirements and 3 are assessed criteria. So I'll go into more detail on these. 2 of the SIFT requirements are technical and research ethics, and 3 assessed are rationale, vision, outputs, outcomes and impact, and wider benefits. So on the SIFT, we're looking for the fact that you have effectively considered the technical requirements associated with facility usage, and that aligns well with your research aims and objectives, and that you have effectively considered research ethics. So for example, where your research might be a dual use technology, you've appropriately considered that. We're not looking for any significantly considered plan, but that we do want you to think about that in your proposal. With the assessed criteria for rationale and vision, we're hoping that you have a very clear rationale and vision, demonstrating why your work is really important within a wider context, how your facility will enable an increase in TRL and break the barriers down. You need to outline the potential application areas that the technology has and the benefits of the technology and the beneficiaries and end users that might use your technology in the future. And you might also want to note the route to market and the potential market analysis that you may have undertaken. For outputs, outcomes and impact, we're looking for well-considered outputs, outcomes and impacts associated with the project. We're hoping that you've got a really clear view of significant outputs, for example, your plans to publish a research article, your plans to consider whether you're going to have a spin-out organisation, your plans to develop follow-on funding applications, and how you might have additional funding associated with the project to support translation of outputs into said outcomes and impacts, and what they are, and how critically the in-kind funding you've received through this opportunity is critical to this. Principally, we want to know what the impact would be if you couldn't access the facility. For wider benefits, we're looking for a strong understanding of the wider benefits associated with the project, including how your project aligns to the Catapult's mission, values, delivers value to the space community, and the potential for follow-on opportunities. So we're thinking here around your links to our missions such as Sustainable Earth, Beyond Earth, and Connected and Autonomous Earth. So I'll come into more detail on these assessed criteria shortly. So in terms of those sifting proposal requirements, just to give you a flavour of what's in the application form, for disclaimers, you'll initially be asked some disclaimers. So you'll be asked to agree to creating case studies and demonstrating the impact that the Catapult has brought to your research. You'll be asked to confirm that you have relevant insurance in place to access the facilities. You won't be required to provide that evidence just yet, but should you be successful for funding, you will be required to evidence it at that stage. You'll be asked to agree to use the Catapult's logo and outputs associated with your work, whereby your work is using data derived from facility usage. And you'll be asked to confirm whether information in your proposal can be used on our website as part of a funding announcement, noting that there might be some sensitivities if you've disclosed any sort of sensitive information or IP. On the technical requirements, we want detail on the facilities from a logistical point of view. So this is around what facilities or facility you want to access and unlock, whether you're seeking full or partial in-kind funding for the access you require. Are you using it on a continuous or discontinuous basis? So for example, you might need to collect some preliminary results, digest that information, and then use the facility again, knowing the initial information from the first test that you did. When you hope to unlock the access to the facility between January and December next year, and how many days you anticipate requiring access to the facility in totality. And then finally, ethics and responsible research. As I said, this is a light touch. We just want you to start thinking about the ethical and responsible research and innovation implications associated with your work. In terms of how we are assessing the proposal, there are these three technical assessment criteria that are actually scored. So rationale and vision, outputs, outcomes and impact, and wider benefits. And these are scored on a 1 to 5 basis, running from 1 being unacceptable proposal with a serious ethical concern, to 5 being an exceptional proposal. And these proposals will be reviewed by technical facilities staff appropriate to the proposal, assuming that they pass the sifting criteria. And a minimum of 2 additional colleagues from the Catapult will review all proposals for consistency. Each proposal will receive an overall score for the criteria to create a final result, assuming that they pass sifting. And you can see that on the far right-hand side there with the square boxes to where that would sit and what wording would be used associated with that. Proposals will be funded based on excellence, but they'll also be taken into account feasibility for the organisation to support the proposal. So, for example, availability of facilities and resource to support the proposal. Where possible, we'll obviously discuss that with you if you've been successful. So in terms of what good looks like for those assessed criteria, for rationale and vision, where we're looking at a sort of 5 response, the proposal would make a step change in 1 or more TRLs with some confidence, noting the potential for high risk, high reward. It will have a well-defined aim and objective, clear beneficiaries and end users in mind. There'll be significant clarity on the significance and importance of work within a wider context and the applications and benefits that the project addresses, as well as the barriers it can break down. And there'll be additional information, for example, consideration of route to market, opportunity and/or market analysis. The outputs, outcomes and impact, there will be a significant clarity on the intended outputs the project will deliver. For example, follow-on funding, spin-out, potential CR&D projects with the Catapult, and plans to realise this ambition. There'll be significant clarity over how the in-kind funding, so this opportunity, and how that will enable the effective translation of outputs into outcomes and impact, what those are, and how the facility access will be critical to enabling these. And there'll be significant clarity on what the impact of not accessing this facility would mean to the technology or project. And then with regards to wider benefits, again, a 5 response would be there'll be exceptionally clear links to the Catapult's mission to grow the space sector, as well as one or more of its strategic missions. So for example, Beyond Earth, Sustainable Earth and Connected Earth. And exceptionally explains the potential for follow-on opportunities and how the work undertaken will strengthen future activities across the ecosystem. So moving on to dates, the application is already open. You can already apply, and I think that the link is going to be dropped into the chat. Today we have the informational webinar, which is hopefully informative. The 1st of December at 9 AM UK time is the deadline to apply, so we won't be accepting applications after that date. Awards will be announced on the 5th of December. And then facilities can be accessed by the award holder from the 5th of January to the 21st of December, and we would obviously discuss scheduling with the award holders. So we'll move on to questions. Again, the email address is there, so please do make a note of that. We're keen to discuss sort of facility usage and your requirements with you. So yeah, please do email us and put your hoped for facility in the title and the body of the text so we can organise making sure that email reaches the correct person. And I will stop sharing so that we can get on to questions. Here we go.
So currently we have one question in the Q&A, and that question is from Andrew Austin, needs to be directed to our drone centre, and the question is the drone facility suitable for testing, Earth observation payloads, and where the SAC would provide the UAV and the pilot?
Yeah, so just to answer that briefly, in theory, yes, but it would depend on the size of the sensor, what the sensor is, the weight of the sensor, etc. But in essence, yes, we will be able to do that.
So Andrew, if you want to drop us an email at Facility for Academia with a bit more information on it, then we can forward that onto the facility and we can get those answers for you. We've had another question from Jennifer Kingston, which is how do we access the costs of the facility access that we are seeking? I think the answer to that straight away is if you drop us an email, let us know what you're looking to do and the length of the project, then we can come back to you with some costs on that to start with. We will of course be sharing all the slides and the recordings of the webinars on the website, so if anybody needs to go over anything else again, then please do so. Are there any other questions? Any hands up?
We'll just wait a few more minutes in case anyone is frantically typing out a question. Otherwise, I think we can probably close early.
But please do feel free to drop any questions to the Facility for Academia email address. We'll be able to pick them up. The team will be on the lookout for them anyway. So no question is too big or too small.
Right, so we're not getting any more questions, so I propose that we finish up there a little bit early. But please, if anyone does have questions, then reach out to the email address which has been pasted in the chat, and will also be available on the landing page, which has also been pasted in the chat. And you will receive an email following this because you registered to join the call with some further information from this webinar itself. So yeah, please do reach out, and thank you very much for taking the time and for your interest in this opportunity. Hopefully we will get some really exciting proposals from you, and we look forward to working with you.